and why now. Some deals will, of course, get over the line with just under 5 unders remaining. However, some won't, as Steve Bruce is all too aware.
No, Neymar was the one we were looking at, but that didn't quite happen.
Neymar.
You see that?
Yeah, is he being serious? I think he is, isn't
Neymar in the northeast.
Stay tuned, Newcastle fans. Neymar could get over the line.
Don't go to bed early.
4 or 5 hours to go. 5 hours, isn't it? Yeah, busy one today. Mixture of weekend review, transfer dealings and looking ahead to the midweeks as well. And a quick glance at the game week 21 results shows, of course, big wins, Kelly, for the teams up and down the league. Newcastle and Brighton at one end of the table and Manchester City and Liverpool at the other end.
Yes, we are going to focus on our champions Liverpool to start with, though. They are back in the groove thanks to that man, Mo. Well, look at that. What a difference a week makes. 2 wins in the past week for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool means they are back up to third and back on the tails of the league leaders Manchester City, though, of course, the Blues do still have that game in hand.
Yeah, Klopp alluded to it, didn't he, on Sunday evening, but reports intensifying of 2 imminent incomings, both in defence. The Preston North End defender Ben Davies, 1 target. Reports suggest a fee of around £2 million has been agreed. A move looks close, pending a medical, of course.
And a second defensive reinforcement does look likely to be the Schalke centre-back Ozan Kabak. Reports in Germany suggest the Turkey international is undergoing a medical there with a view to a loan move until the end of the season. And Lizzie Doyle from the Anfield Wrap joins us now. Lizzie, this is something that's been talked about all window, isn't it? Are Liverpool going to get any defensive reinforcements? It does look like they're going to. You do need them. Are you excited by those names?
I'm very excited. I mean, they've left it a bit late, haven't they? they've kept us on our toes, and we've really needed these names to come in. And I think Joel Matip getting injured and then Fabinho was just the tipping point, really, because, like, as Liverpool fans, to be honest, we all started saying this when Dejan Lovren left and we didn't replace him. And OK, Virgil van Dijk's not injury prone, but you can never foresee an injury like Virgil's had, and also what Joe Gomez has had as well. And it just feels like every single player we've had in that position has just gone, and we're left with, you know, really inexperienced players playing there and players playing out of position. So this was desperately needed. But Liverpool fans know all too well what FSG are about, and they're usually a sell to buy club. So I don't think we were really expecting it, but I feel like the hand's being forced on this one.
Yeah, Lizzie, what does this say then to the likes of, you know, Reece Williams and Nat Phillips, who've been having runs in the team?
I think it says, thanks, lads, you've done really well, but it's time that we sort of upped our game a little bit. And I don't think they thought they were going to be in for the whole season, to be honest. I think they know they were there to patch things over. And listen, they've both done well in their respective games. You know, a couple of them have had a few mistakes, but that's what's going to happen when you play a 19-year-old who's been playing at Kidderminster Harriers, or you're playing, you know, Nat Phillips, who's only played a couple of months at Stuttgart. And this is an extremely high level. Like, Liverpool are the league champions and are going for the Champions League as well. Like, it's a really, really high bar to live up to, and especially in the way that Liverpool play. So I think what it says to them is, thanks for all your work. You'll probably still will be included, but we just need a little bit more stability to get us through to the end of the season.
Quite often, Lizzie, Liverpool do their business early. We aren't used to seeing them leave it quite this late. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's the fact that they've been scoping out their options, or that recent results, although the last week has been better, has forced their hand? What do you think the reason is for it being so late?
I think that they didn't want to do this in the first place. I think Jurgen Klopp made it very clear that he wanted a centre-back, and made it very clear that it wasn't his decision. And I think, again, this is as owners, FSG have always sold players to buy. Like, we wouldn't have brought in Virgil van Dijk and Alisson without the sale of Coutinho. And I think they've done that the whole time they've been here, never mind in a pandemic where everyone is hemorrhaging money. And I just couldn't see it happening, to be honest. But the second that Jurgen Klopp started to make some noise and the results started to go the way that they did, I think it's a risk-reward thing. And I think they've realised a little bit too late that actually if they do want the payoff of winning the league or getting back in the Champions League or winning the Champions League, you know, you do have to invest, albeit in the pandemic.
And Lizzie, not only, 2-3 months ago, less than that, I'd say a month ago, it was kind of panic stations at Liverpool, wasn't it?
But with that,
a week ago. But with that game against Manchester City on the 7th on Sunday, it's very much back on now, isn't it? There's only 3 points between them. You could go level on points with City with a win.
Yeah, it's a huge game. It's absolutely massive. And I mean, you say panic station, but there's a lot of Liverpool fans that I know with quite rational heads who I think we just needed to get through that blip, and we knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time when. You got to take into context at what point of the season we're in as well. I mean, if we would have had that run in March, I would have been calling it a crisis. But as far as I was concerned, it wasn't a crisis, and it was something we needed to get through. These lads aren't perfect, and they've shown that they play up. They've set such a high bar for themselves, which was set by them. And it's impossible to do that all the time. And I'm just so happy that they've proven yet again with adversity and stuff like that they can be a fantastic football team, and it just makes for this Sunday's game to be an absolutely huge one. And honestly, I cannot wait for it.
Neither can we, Lizzie. Thank you so much for your insight.
Thank
really
you.
good there to hear that fans weren't getting concerned. I don't believe it completely that they weren't getting concerned.
Well, and Kabak, by the way, also comes recommended by David Wagner, who Klopp worked with at Dortmund.
Best friend as well, isn't he?
And the director of football at Mainz, who was when Klopp was there as well. So, and that is the club where they signed Joel Matip from. All sorts
Any
of
more facts and stats for us today?
That's it for now.
We're all done. Good.
Let's talk Newcastle, shall we? Because Newcastle, one of the big winners of the weekend, and looks set for a couple of signings before the deadline as well. Let's talk about